Post in link. Just gonna wait for a few viewers here, see what happens. Still think we're only at 2 viewers. I'll double check right now. Okay, we're up to 3. I'll get this show on the road, I guess. So, there's 2 food questions. I'm mixing it up since I haven't done a show in a while. What kind of Hot Pocket is my favorite? This is pretty easy to answer. I am a grown man, so I do not eat Hot Pockets on the regular, so I do not have a favorite Hot Pocket. However, as an adult, I have had a Cornish pasty, which is a delicious baked good, which is pretty much an adult Hot Pocket. It's kind of like, it's a bunch of stuff inside a baked pastry, and it's delicious. And there's a franchise out here, all locally owned in Arizona, called the Cornish Pasty Company, and they have this fantastic, it's like steak with some leeks, some onions, but it's really good. And then it comes with like a blue cheese dressing or a red wine sauce, and then it's really good. And that would be my favorite adult Hot Pocket. Now, if I were to throw a cookie into the sun, how long would it take to cook? I think is the other question, and a couple related to that. If I were to throw cookie dough directly at the sun, how long would it take to bake? I think infinite, because if I were to throw cookie dough directly at the sun, it would never make it out of the atmosphere, let alone, I don't know, how tall can I throw? 30 feet? I don't know. Cookie dough's weird. I don't know how it throws. If I were to successfully cook it, though, it would probably go for quite a bit because it would be nuclear if it broke atmosphere, you know? Radiation from the sun. But yeah, those are the short and sweet versions. I'm sorry, look out. Hypothetically, well, it would cook by the time it got to the sun easily. Like, if you think about how hot Mercury is and Venus, it would probably cook pretty much once it gets past the moon radius, I think. But, yeah. Probably sell it for a couple million. I wonder if you'd be even allowed to sell it. As space property, I don't know if the governments would let you keep it. Weird, I know. So I'm in the stories. I was just checking out my stories. So next up, favorites for offensive rookie of the year. Offensive rookie of the year. So I was looking at this. I haven't gone in depth. I know Tank asked like best 4th round pick or whatever, but I didn't really look into that. You know, I have other stuff going on. Trying to apply to jobs. I applied to like 30 jobs yesterday. It was the time of my life. But I think if you do look at rookie of the years, if you look at in the AFC, it's probably going to be, where's his face? Josh Rosen, 1,600 yards, 16 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. It's not bad. Not bad at all in the NFC. The other guy I like in the NFC for rookie of the year is Montrell Vines. So he's not listed high up here, but 4.1 yards a carry, only 3 touchdowns, which is going to hold him back. But if he goes off, he could have a nice end of the year. On the AFC side, obviously you have a few rookie quarterbacks like Sam Darnold and JT Daniels. You know, so 1,800 yards, 17 touchdowns. Those picks might drag him down a little bit. And then where is the other guy I just said? Well, Sam Darnold, 1,600, 12 and 8. You know, still he's not getting much better. But to be perfectly honest, the guy I really like in the AFC for Rookie of the Year is Jordan Ham. So it'll be interesting once we advance, because then we'll have records of what they actually are and to see how terribly I've guessed these. But 600 yards on 30 catches with 4 touchdowns. It's not bad, 11.1 rack average. But yeah, that's not a bad stat. He's leading, I think he's top 5 in the league. Or not top 5, top 10 in the league, top 15. But he's leading the rookie receivers, that's for sure. Flipping over to the defensive side of the ball, I think the AFC so far has been a one-horse race for Defensive Rookie of the Year. With Parrish Flutie getting 8 picks, which just seems insane, especially once you look at his stat line. I don't know if he's usering him or what, but that's crazy impressive to get pretty much a pick a game so far with this rookie, in my opinion. And that's not even including like his forced fumbles, 2 forced fumbles. But yeah, and a touchdown. Yeah, so that would be the AFC. On the NFC side, I'm going to go with the linebacker. I always go linebacker for my defensive rookies and stuff. I think it's Whitehead Whitehead. Probably your best bet for the NFC Rookie of the Year. If I was being more exciting, I'd probably go Joseph Fox, who leads all rookies in sacks at the moment. Where is he? 7.5 right there. That would probably be my best bet. Oh, another guy to watch out for is actually, let's see if he'll pop up on this list. Safety from Seattle, Sammy McElrath, I think. Yeah, I don't think he's going to pop up on this list, to be honest. But he might have a sneaky good season, especially if he gets some turnovers and whatnot. He has 3 picks already. Oh, maybe that was the way to look for him, is the 3 interceptions. I think Seattle's starting a pair of rookie safeties, so. Oh, so yeah, Brian Huff and, Sammy McElrath. Yeah, see, 32, 35 tackles. So those guys will probably be neck and neck, 3 picks each, touchdown each. 1 fumble recovery. Either of them get a touchdown. Oh, both have 1 touchdown. So that's not a bad combo to have on the back end. So that's my predictions for whatever. Well, I think the Bengals had a bye week is the difference between that. Oh, I guess, and this was probably when I looked. It was a couple days ago. But yeah, so Sutton, okay, maybe Sutton will make a push. Yeah, 9 touchdowns probably puts him over that Bengals guy. Kevin Harmon also on the NFC. But I think that is going to be Josh Rosen's or whatever award to lose. Let me see. Yeah, top 5 quarterbacks under 25. I think most quarterbacks in this league at this point seem to be under 25. And that's such, like, I get it in the NFL when they do it like that, but in Madden, it's just dumb because of the lack of young ones. I like Glenn Shable. I don't know if he's 25. Yeah, 23. I like him a lot. Superstar dev now. I don't think that's bad set of skills to work around. Baker Mayfield, obviously. That's a nice set of skills, too. Yeah, JT Daniels, it's just his deep accuracy that holds him back. Quinn Greason is 24. Yeah, he got injured. That sucks. But again, that deep accuracy and pump up that awareness a little bit. Definitely not Brian Nedney. Bad. Even if he's a superstar in 21, just bad. I mean, in all fairness, if this was a user, I would probably say number 1 on the list. He's 21, he's superstar dev, and look at that. All his accuracies are green, 78 plus. With the 93 throw power, that's pretty good. Like, Nedney would be up there in Madden terms. And then Josh Rosen, too, is 23, superstar. Sam Darnold isn't bad. See, lots of young quarterbacks. See, superstar. Just... Even Kaiser might still be 25, right? Yeah. So again, Kaiser might be up there depending on his contract. Yeah, Kaiser's nuts. Yeah, Kaiser might actually be number 1 instead of... But the age on Nedney really helps him. For what I look at a quarterback. Finley's definitely probably not on that list, even at 24. Superstar dev. I mean, but he's got a lot of good tools. See, just lots of good young quarterbacks. And then I think Jameis is 27. 26, 27. I got to re-sign him next year, and he's got a solid skill set too. So, I mean, there's just tons of young quarterbacks in this league. Russell Fleck is 25. Nice throw power. Nice mid to short accuracy. That deep accuracy, lack of awareness hurts him, but yeah. Oh, God, my Discord's messing up. I'm bringing up the questions right now. Give me a second. Of course, it would take forever to load. Work today was pretty nice. Pretty easy shift. Easy money. Easy money, as I like to call it. There we go. Biggest upset so far. I'm going to go through that in a little bit. Okay, there's not that many questions left. Is the Falcons D for real? Oh, wait. Okay, let's check out Ray Bortles first. Was he even... Did I pass him on the list? Because if he's not on there, I mean, it's kind of tough for me to... Oh, he's 21 superstar, 22 superstar dev, right? Yeah, only 1,200 yards, 3 touchdowns, 24 interceptions. Jesus, look out! You're supposed to throw the guys in the same jersey as him. 46% completion percentage. Woof. Ouch. Ouch. But oh wow, yeah, that's actually a really nice skill set there. I mean, his throw power is a little low, but Baker Mayfield's proved you don't need it. Glenn Shable's proved you don't need huge throw power. The 90 awareness helps prop up and probably gives him an inflated overall. I mean, but no, that's not true. Yeah, that's a really nice quarterback. Definitely top 3. Like, I would definitely probably have Nedney at number 1, then maybe this guy with age and that skill set. That's really nice. Sorry, I forgot him. I was just looking at the stats, okay? My bad. Is the Falcons' defense real? As per usual, I will say no. Not due to talent, but due to coaching. Let's check out this Falcons D. Even with the addition of one Patrick Peterson, I think he doesn't call enough man to use a lot of Pat Pete's skills and a lot of how routes work and whatnot. It just doesn't matter who you have playing at corner. Unfortunately, there are just some routes that work, some routes that don't, or like there are routes that work against this combination but don't work against this combination. Is pretty much it. A post against cover 2 will always eventually get open. I'm not saying that that's broken. It's just how it is, and it kind of should be that way. However, if there's one post and everybody else is running a flat, it's kind of frustrating to see your safety just like, oh no, I'm going to fuck off to the sideline. So obviously Jadevian's really nice and super cheap for him. But he's missing out on a few key things, in my opinion, to be a truly elite one. I'm surprised his strength is that low, to be honest. 79 strength. Huh. Moving on to the right end, Heston Nix is his superstar. He had to dev him up from the ground, so he looks good compared to what he was, but like that block shedding's really low, that tackle isn't great, that play rec isn't great. Is he deving D-line this year? It does not look like he's deving D-line this year, so that's going to be slow for him. I mean, the focus training will help, but yeah, that'll be tough to dev him up fully. Glenn Bacon, obviously. I'm surprised he drafted the defensive end with how Glenn Bacon was playing last year. So force really in the middle. I mean, Casey Sales is his best at 76 overall. 90 block shedding, which is nice, but other than that, yeah. Parker Anthony's young, but again, he had low strength. Yeah. Obviously, Vic Beasley's nice. Would I have him at outside linebacker? No. But I'm big into the 4-3. Again, like, the block shedding isn't up at the tier it needs to be. The tackle's a little low for me for what I want out of a lot of my linebackers. Zone coverage is obviously low. But yeah. Deion Jones is everything I want in a middle linebacker and then some. Just a monster. And again, his block shedding, I would have bumped that up to the 90s, especially with a division with two fantastic offensive lines he has to play twice a year. Dante Hightower is Dante Hightower. See, nice. I mean, he's just a little older. That 80 speed doesn't help him much, but he'll still make the plays on the football. The 72 agility is what really hurts him more, and I think that's underrated on linebackers, is you need those agile guys, those change on direction guys, and that's why you'll see some just make the crazy change of directions and picks, whereas others won't. I think Justin Houston was a mistake signing. I've said that the whole time. But he's got a nice skill set. Again, his pass rushing moves ought to be higher, but I get it with regression. Also, 76 speed. If he gets caught defending a pass, that's going to be game over. That's just how it is. And again, what's his agility at? 76, so higher than Hightower's, but not great. Okay, and then we're going to have Desmond Trufant as the number 2 corner with Pat Pete. Nice skill set, definitely. That 95 agility is nice, 90 speed. So, I mean, I think Pat Pete and him are nice duo corners. Jalen Collins, I'm not scared by much either. Low play rec hurts him. Catching, only 62, which, I mean, you shouldn't pump a lot into catching. Do they have a high tackle rating? Oh, no, 61. But 6'1". That's nice size. Yeah. Safety, I'm not impressed by, I don't think, his safety core at all. 85 speed, 91 hit power. Hit power's nice, acceleration's nice. Speed's a little on the lower end. Zone's low. Tackle's even low. Pursuit's low. Play rec's low. So that's really where he's going to get hurt, is on the back end. I know he loves Rudy Ford, though. And Rudy Ford has a lot of the tools again. 92 speed, 81 hit power. 91 zone is really nice. But I don't think they're as good as they've let on. I mean, and it makes sense that his run defense has been stout. It gets definitely against CPU with, 5 guys. 88 plus. Oh, I guess Deion Jones is 85. He might not be in his scheme, though, because my scheme's a 4-3 scheme, so. But yeah, so I do think the Falcons' defense is a little bit of fool's gold, if you will. Biggest upsets of the year. Obviously, can't talk about upsets without talking about the Browns finally sweeping the Ravens. I mean, seriously, his third year of having a better roster, and he finally sweeps them. He's so proud of himself, too. I think a lot of people were surprised that... it's not necessarily a surprise that he won, but he just won by that margin. Wookiee over Bears. I'm very surprised that I beat Panthers twice. Admittedly, one of them was a sim, but even the game that I did play, I'm just surprised that I beat him. Or it's just tough to beat a guy like that. I think Lookout won a good game against Tolgs. Not saying there's an upset. That was another good game there. I was surprised Pixie gave Shiny such a run for his money. I actually, from what I rewatched of that game, when Brown went down, I thought Pixie was gonna run away with it. That was an ugly game. One of the ugliest games of the year right there. Philadelphia Eagles versus the Atlanta Falcons. No upset. Just want everybody to know it was ugly. Yeah, I don't know. On a week-by-week basis, it's tough for me to say that there's been a ton of upsets when it's been the users playing. Like, I don't know. It's just tough. Like, we all know each other's skill level and whatnot, and, like, we know if it's gonna be a good game or not, for the most part. The only person who really likes to choke it up and switch it up is me, I feel. And lose to people that you think he wouldn't, and then beat people that you think he wouldn't with the guys he loses to. But no. Gotta make it hard on myself. Jeez. What happened in that game? Woof. I guess the CPU beating Chiefs is kind of an upset. So yeah, let's get away from the upset topic just because, I don't know. I think it's just kind of hard for me to pick out some upsets. Again, I'm flicking through, trying to find some for you guys, trying to find something. Oh, I guess biggest upset would be the Dolphins. I think that might be their first win versus the Patriots in this cycle, because I want to say this is our first Dolphins user. So that is a big upset, 18-15 in week 5. It would be so different if like more users were playing too. I'm really bummed out. I think, biggest disappointment of the season is LTH disappearing, hands down. It sucks. But I don't know what else to say about that. I swear, I know I make it sound easy, guys, but it's pretty tough to talk about just Madden football for this long a few times a year. Oh, wow. Oh, I guess it was a sim. Never mind, then I guess it's not an upset. Psh, darn. Oh, that game, I forgot how close that game ended up being, though. Just an 8-point game. And that's obviously the Patriots-Falcons that just went down last week. I think Washington over Philly. It's not necessarily an upset, but new Philly user who kind of came in and played some games good. Didn't know what to expect from him kind of deal. But yeah, and the rest of you motherfuckers need to play your week 8 games because it's my bye week. Oh, next question. I think it's going to be playoff race kind of situation. Oh. So let's... I think Tolgs... So I'm just going to answer your question, get it out of the way. Was you beating Bears and... I went the wrong way. Stupid Vikings. Was you going on that 3-win streak a fluke or not? I mean, 7-point game, lost to Lookout. So that's not bad. Beat the Bears, beat the Skins. So, I mean, that's 3 games you just showed up in. Then I think, Panthers is a very good user. Browns is a very good team. Steelers, those are 3 guys that you really shouldn't be ashamed in losing to. And you competed in the other loss. So, I mean, you shouldn't be ashamed at any of the losses. You're just going through a rough patch, and I mean, the AFC North will do it to you. I mean, you got 4 of them in a row with the bye week sandwiched in. But, yeah, it's going to be tough. At least you got Packers, Rams, you got some easy ones down the road. But yeah, I wouldn't be upset. And you're still, I mean, I think the biggest surprise for you is that as the Texans, you were still putting up points. You were just being let down by your defense. Now, I don't want to say it's a combination of both, but like, you look at the box score on this, and did you have 2 safeties? Is that how you got to what? But it was 9-7 till the fourth quarter. Admittedly, I didn't watch it, and I don't know when you scored or anything. But that seems pretty different than just what the box score is saying. You did get 2 safeties. That's crazy. That is crazy. But yeah, so I think it's more so that, and you're just getting used to the new team. I mean, I know Wookie has adjusted to the Lions pretty well, but also I don't know how, Bears, CPU, and then run into the buzzsaw with the AFC North, and then 2 more CPU and look out, and that game was pretty sloppy if I remember correctly. But yeah, just gotta adjust to the new team and whatnot. As you look out, you were leading in interceptions. There's no way that another guy has more interceptions than you. Yeah. Oh, I guess I'll look at playoff outlook. That's what the people want. So lots of good teams in each conference. It seems pretty top heavy, to be honest. But like you look at the AFC, and all 4 of the top records are AFC North, and yeah, that's a great point. Is all their losses have come within the division. Nobody has lost another game. Like Ravens 2 losses are to Browns. I think Brown lost to Steelers. Steelers lost to Bengals. So that's going to be tough. I think X probably has the most likely chance to lose a game. Just his, his offense just isn't as established as the other 3. But I don't know. Bengals might run the table, to be perfectly honest. I'm going to look at his schedule, but I don't know who he plays that, because he doesn't play me. I don't think he plays the NFC West either. Oh, they play the NFC North. So yeah. NFC has kind of the same thing with 2 undefeated teams up top, and then you got Lions who have 1 loss to a very good Bengals team, then Cowboys. I don't know who their 1 loss is to off the top of my head. I think it was a sim, or he was on auto because of reasons. But those division wins are always big. With the Eagles right behind him, Falcons right behind, Redskins, Panthers, so a lot of the same old faces up here apart from the NFC North. Yeah, looking at the AFC North, obviously Bengals with Steelers as a wild card. We'll have to see if the Browns can hold it together for the whole season, since last year they decided to choke it out and let the Ravens slip in. But other than that, I mean, the AFC South, if LTH comes back in the next 4 weeks, he could 2 weeks. Yeah, it'll be tough to make the playoffs at 9-7 in this conference. So I think if he comes back in the next couple weeks, he could definitely make a run for it. But other than that, he looks to be in a top 5 pick situation if he's even around. And then Titans looks to be winning the division, I would hope, with 2 CPUs. 3 if LTH doesn't show back up. Which would be nice for him. Get him his first playoff berth. And of course, it is the fucking year I have his first round pick that he would do well and win the division. The AFC East looks a little bit more competitive. I mean, Bills not so much, 2-5. But Dolphins, beat the Pats once. And I had my struggles with him. I won by 10 points. It wasn't a blowout by any means. Good user. His defense is definitely there. I think he's right. His defense is pretty sturdy. So he's played 7 games, given up 150 points. So that's 20-ish points a game. That's not bad. I think I've said it before, and I said it in the playoffs. If I can't score 24 points, I really deserve to lose. Because, there just has to be a point. I think 30. If you can not score, if you lose and you don't put up 30 points, you got to look at your offense. That's 5 drives. That's all you need to hit that point. And depending on how your defense played, you should be given. If your defense is giving up a ton of scores, you should have plenty of possessions. If your defense is giving you turnovers, plenty of possessions. Of course, I'm not saying that's the automatic. I've won a couple. I don't think I've won a game this year with under 30 points, but as I get into the tougher stretch of my schedule with the Cowboys and whatnot. AFC West, I think they'll turn it around. I think they just had a tough starting slope. But yeah, Raiders definitely fell off. 1-5 is tough for him. But again, you look at it, only the Chargers has played 3 division games, and he's 1-2. So I think Chiefs or Raiders will look to be in the playoff hunt this come week 16, 17. Hopefully competing for a wild card spot. But that's only really, the wild cards are only an option if they both go on a little bit of a hot streak. Otherwise, it's just going to be the division winner who makes it. NFC North looks to go through Detroit this year, which I think if Detroit wins, makes it 3 different division winners in 3 consecutive years. I want to say Vikings won it last year, Bears the year before that. But yeah, 5-1. Say 118 points, 142, 152, from the Vikings. But look at the point, that's a huge swing, 90-point difference on defense. Lions have some young pieces on defense, actually, thanks to the CPU drafting and whatnot. So I think Wookiee's kind of reaping the benefits of that a little bit. NFC South looks to run through me. We'll find out for sure next week when I play Falcons. I think if I win that game, I feel pretty good about it, just because I don't see him necessarily sweeping Panthers. So if I go 500 against the Falcons, the division's mine in the bag. I have 2 Falcons games, Cowboys, Redskins, Eagles, and then week 17 is the Pats, and I think those are my 6 games I kind of have circled on my schedule. They're going to be tough. But even if I were to drop all of them, 10-6, we'll probably let the NFC into the playoffs. Looking at the NFC East, it looks like Cowboys is back, and Eagles looks to keep competing. I mean, this division might send 3. If somebody from the NFC North or South slips a little bit, I think NFC East is going to try and send two teams to the playoffs, and it could still be the Giants. I mean, 3-3 is an easy point to leapfrog off of, and I actually really enjoyed playing him. He has a very different offense. The pass reads for the quarterback, I think, are pretty easy, but they keep the defense on its toes. No real gumming up at the line for his receivers, which is nice for Odell, who I think is leading the league in receiving this year. At least when I looked it up, I might be wrong now, NFC West, 1-team show with 2 CPU and Lookout. Again, I wish Mr. West was still in here. He was a very good user. I think he got a lot out of the Rams. But yeah, looking at the Super Bowl picture, I think you have to go with what happened last year, which is Cardinals versus Bengals. I mean, that makes the most sense right now. Would I like to say I'm in the running? Sure. I just need to, win some playoff games, because I always seem to play worse. I like to choke it up. Steelers are obviously going to be in that contest, but, probably have to run through the Bengals. That's tough. That's tough boating. Browns might be up there too, but again, needs to beat Bengals. And I think he still has the Bengals 3 times. So it'd be 2 times and a third in the playoffs. Or it would be he has to play Steelers or Bengals or both. If he beats one of them, he could be playing the other one in the conference championship game. Cowboys, if he's back, I mean, you can't dip him out of the Super Bowl. So I think you're looking at 6 teams. I mean, and still, Patriots could easily turn around 4-2, go for the playoff Super Bowl run. But yeah, that's kind of what, I would limit it to. I think there's just other teams have holes in their roster that they need to get around for other stuff to really, and it'll be interesting to see how injuries affect it, because I know I'm really enjoying the increase in injuries. I think it's more fun. I actually just got back 2 of my players in the last 2 weeks, starting defensive lineman and my starting center. And I definitely felt the loss of my center more than my defensive lineman. Mike Evans, losing him has made me switch up my offense a lot. The Cardinals have had a ton of injuries, including their top 2 receivers for a minute. But yeah, they're starting center. Marvin Fletcher and then 66 overall. It's going to be tough for any team, but that's exactly what happens in the NFL. I mean, you look at the Eagles this year, losing your starting quarterback. Yeah, it happens. Dislocated elbow for Jay Ajayi. I saw that he was injured on the trade block. But I feel like, oh wow, Falcons got him and he's already hurt. Oh, that's a different Newcomb. Okay. How confusing. But yeah, it is odd that there are teams with no injuries still. I don't know what it is. I think when I last spoke about it, I think what I really would like to see Madden implement is 2 injury sliders, a frequency and a severity. So the commission, I mean, there should be a ton more options from the commission's standpoint, I think, when it comes to running the league, including rearranging the draft order. If 2 guys are tied, but they won head-to-head, why is, or whatever. And obviously a lot of that stuff could be kept in check by the users and whatnot. But yeah, I'd just like to see like more injuries, not necessarily 6-week injuries, 2-week injuries for Christian McCaffrey or Bud Dupree or whatever. And I know Patriots got hit hard with injuries. He's always had a little bit of an injury bug, just like the Cardinals, though. And again, I think another factor is that whole trainer. I know it's not something in our control, but it's like the scouting thing. Everybody has a discounted thing for scouting, and you're kind of stuck with it. Or it changes every year for no reason because they're hiring on the backside. And that's almost what I think it is for injuries, is it depends on the trainer as to the severity of some of these, along with, the positional toughness, stamina, injury ratings themselves. But yeah, I'll see. There we go. Ravens finally has some injuries. I think I heard that somebody like 2 weeks ago that he had none. So there we go. We can sleep easy at night. And wow, yeah, you don't want to be the Redskins. That's nuts. Couldn't imagine losing both quarterbacks. And you guys just got to switch up your whole offense at that point, too. Yeah, that's rough. That's a lot of starters. And he still got a decent record. I think he still competed that game, too. Might have won it. Or maybe he lost because of that. He said, I know he had a big lead going into the second half. And I wonder if age is a factor for him. I mean, now that I'm looking through and I see a ton of user-generated or Madden-generated rookies. But just kind of food for thought when it comes to that. Because nobody knows any of the formulas for Madden. It's pretty dumb. Oh, Vikings have gotten pretty hard to hit with injuries too. Dalvin Cook, Shane Kemp, and Ashley Broyles. Is he a rookie? Still solid player, though. No, that hurts Bears. That makes sense. I just played him and I did not see Jordan Howard. That makes sense why I didn't see Jordan Howard. Future of Hall of Fame Football League, though, because I'm interested in running it again. Admittedly, I am very on the fence for Madden 19. I will have to see some big stuff from the developers, or I don't know. It's tough for me to say today I want to run it, depending on if I don't even know if I'm going to buy it because of what EA has decided to do with the game and the lack of features they've added, the features they've taken away. Usually we figure out next Madden's teams after the draft. So draft is in April. Usually in May, I'll shoot out words talking about what teams do you want, and it's top 3 usually. Top 3 teams, and I try and match it up as best I can. Obviously, there are some teams that get tons of requests. I think this past year was the Jaguars, or it just happens every year. And I just think we have a clearer picture after the draft to say, because there's definitely quarterback issues. Like, I don't know how I feel about whoever the Denver Broncos drafted quarterback. And like last year, when I was the Browns, I was thinking about keeping him again. But when they didn't draft like a quarterback I was excited about, because I was excited about Pat Mahomes. I really thought he would do a lot of good there with just his natural athleticism. So I decided to go a different way and go with the Bucks, which has been fun. I don't like to stay with the same team twice. I think you just do a lot of the same stuff over and over again. But I might just be a crazy person and whatnot. Like, you know, I know X is going to be the Ravens because he's a huge Ravens fan. Not trying to doubt on that. But you know he's going to spend some time looking for a new quarterback because Joe Flacco isn't the answer. And it's like, how many new quarterbacks do you want to go through? When, you know, you can start with one or whatever, or, you know, you have a team that's more set for a new quarterback or have capital to trade for one. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I need to go run to the dry cleaners, and then I don't know. I got a game in another league tonight, but I think that wraps up the show for this evening. Hope you guys enjoyed listening, and I didn't go off on too many tangents or bore you. But yeah, have a good rest of your Wednesday night.